Commissioner Pernetti, thank you for those kind words. Man, outstanding leadership we have at the conference level office with him. Jamie Hickson, who really handles the football coach meetings. So grateful for the leadership of this league. I'm grateful for the media that's here today to cover our conference. Do not take it lightly that you're here. I am fired up to be at Tulane. Like Commissioner Pernetti just said, or Tim, he'd be upset with me if I kept calling him Commissioner Pernetti the whole time, Tim. But I'm fired up to be at Tulane. Love what the place is about. Love the city of New Orleans. We have an outstanding administration at our university. President Mike Fitz, Athletic Director David Harris. Could not be more grateful for them, for the resources they provided our players, our staff, to give us the opportunity to be successful at a high level. You know, this is an exciting time of year. I love football. Like, I love football. I'm a football junkie. Like, if my wife said, hey, like to somebody, or somebody asked my wife, what's John's hobbies? My wife would be like, football. Like, it's what I do, all right? It's who I am. And really excited about this season. Every year is a new year, obviously, but we have nowadays new teams that are not just kind of new teams, they're very new teams. And our team is drastically different than last year's team. The uncertainty really energizes me. We have 116 players in our roster. We're not down to 105 because of the designated student athlete component. Out of those 116, 60 are brand new to our program, 34 transfers and 26 high school additions in this offseason. So I'm not a mathematician, but I think that's like 51% or something like that, or 51.7 or somewhere along those lines. But a very new team. Returning starters on offense, we have 2, okay? So that's a little bit daunting. We have a starting left tackle, and Derek Graham, a starting left guard, and Shadre Hurst that are back. Shadre is one of our representatives here today. Shadre's from Cartersville, Georgia. A really good football player and an outstanding person. So 2 returning offensive starters. Defensively, we're way more experienced. We've got 3 returning starters. Okay, so like much more stable situation on that side of the ball. Sam Howard is one of those 3. He's here with me today. Sam Howard's from Shades Valley, Alabama, near Birmingham. Sam's got a really cool story. He was a walk-on at Austin Peay. Became a team captain, led the team in tackles there, graduated, got his degree there, went in the transfer portal, a really positive addition for us over a year ago, and really honored that those 2 young men are here with me today. They are outstanding representatives of Tulane football and Tulane University. So with that, I will open it up to questions. Have at it.
All right, we'll begin with questions for Coach. Please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you, and please introduce yourself and your affiliation prior to asking. We'll start on the right side, 3rd row.
Brandon Pockris with the League Winners. How are you doing today?
Good, you?
Doing great. So lots has been made. There's been a lot of discussion, obviously, around the quarterback competition. So a bit of a 2-parter. What are your thoughts on that? What are you most excited about with that? And then the second part, what are some other roster battles, starting positions up for grabs that you're really excited to see play out over fall camp?
Yeah, the quarterback situation, you know, I reflect back to a year ago this time, and we didn't have a starter and went through a training camp battle. We're back in the same scenario again. You know, a lot has been made recently of the addition of Jake Retzlaff, and I'll address Jake in a minute, but even prior to adding Jake, I feel really confident in the room we already had in place. So there's a room, a group of guys that have been working the last several months to have an opportunity to win that job or be our starter and develop within our program that I have a lot of belief in. All right, Caden Samanza came to us by way of Ball State. He was the MAC Freshman Player of the Year a year ago. I really like Caden. He's a football guy. He loves it. Good teammate. Brendan Sullivan, we added in the spring portal window from Iowa. He had been at Northwestern previously. Man, Brendan is a talented dude. Athletically, he's tough. He has an edge about him. He's a really fast athlete and a great competitor. And really excited that we added him. Look forward to what he's brought to our team and can't wait to see what else he does. Donovan Leary transferred us in the winter back in January from Illinois. So Donovan and Caden went through spring practice, and then Brendan was added post-spring. And really wasn't necessarily like, man, we're not in a good spot, we have to go get another one. We were very content with, we can win with any of those guys. I believe all three of those guys, we can put a game plan in around them to help Tulane win football games. It may look a little different with any of them. And then the situation with Jake presented after doing our due diligence on the university side of things with everything around Jake. We got the green light to move forward. Then you check to make sure that academically things are, fit, and that worked. And then the football component you have to make a decision on. And the unique thing with Jake, I recruited Jake when I was head coach at Troy in 2022. Jake had one offer out of Riverside Community College for a really long time, and it was Troy. And then late in the process, BYU came in. We won our conference championship game at Troy that year, play a game against Coastal Carolina, and 2 days later, I went on a flight to go see Jake. And he was the guy we wanted to come add to our program as a transfer quarterback out of the junior college ranks. And then BYU came in, proximity to home, several other factors came to play, ended up going to BYU. 23 was the backup there. 24 was the starter, had a really good year, and felt like, when it presented, we vetted every angle of it. Like I said, the entire scope of adding a new player. And then as we went through that process, it checked all the boxes to let's do this. I've said this a few times, like the old adage a lot of people like to say is less is more. I don't prescribe to that theory. I think more is more. Like I want more good players on our team all the time. And if we have an opportunity to add a capable player that can help us win, we're going to do it. Now, there is some things, as you go through that process, we had to handle that in our quarterback room. So I made sure those guys understood the situation, the why. In 2019, 2019 at the University of Kentucky, we had all our quarterbacks get injured one year, and Lynn Bowden played quarterback for us, who was a receiver, and we had to get really creative with how we played the game. I like to play quarterbacks at quarterback if at all possible, and so having more good players is a good thing, not a bad thing. So that's the quarterback situation. The best man's going to win the job. Nobody's been promised anything. They all, in the recruiting process, were told, you will get what you earn, and the best man will start the game one, whoever that is. And if he plays well, he'll start game two. All right? And I think we proved that with our actions last year. We didn't go with the most known player or the highest recruited player. We went with the guy that we felt like could help us win and lead our team. And then the other question you had about other roster battles or position battles, right? I'm really excited about our D-line group. It is an extremely deep group, a very competitive group. A lot of talented guys that I think can play at a high level. I look forward to watching that room. Our receiver room is probably unique this year. Last year, going into the year, I could have told you Mario Williams was going to have close to 1,000 yards probably, and he did. This year, we've got several guys I could see being starters. I don't know that we have maybe the clear-cut, this is the number one guy, but I think we have a very deep group there. O-line I'm excited about. I probably, and I'm not trying to be coach speak, but it's really all of them. Like we have such a new team. Running back is exciting. I mean, they're all groups that I can't wait to see them go to work this training camp and figure out who elevates to give us a chance to win.
Taking questions, we have still on the right side in the fourth row over towards the center.
Joshua Killian here with the Boneyard Podcast. Good to see you, Coach. So a couple years ago, previous Tulane head coach Willie Fritz said that he thought East Carolina was on similar trajectory to what Tulane has been on in recent years. Just to talk a little bit about the offense, do you see similarities in how both teams kind of attack the field with the wide receivers and things like that, and just kind of some of that schemes? That's one of the similarities, or like how do you see those two programs matching up?
Yeah, well, East Carolina has always had dudes. They have always got great players. I've got a ton of respect for that program. That's one of the hardest places to play. I've coached there before, and, man, it's a challenging place to coach at, play at. Several years ago, I was the co-defensive coordinator at Tulane, and Lincoln Riley was the OC at ECU, and I remember a couple of battles with them they're always just so skilled athletically. They got great coaching, have a tremendous staff. And schematically, I'd say there's some differences. You know, we're probably we play the game a lot in 12 and maybe pro stylish, but we want chunk pass plays. They're more spread. They want to run the ball still, but they're similar in regards to they want to create explosive pass plays. I think, you know, regardless of whether you're a tempo team or a slow team, or you're a 10 personnel 4 wide, or a 12 personnel 2 tight end team, I think the name of the game is can you run the football and can you take shots in the pass game? And I think they do a great job of that. We try to do some of those same things, maybe a little different look or presentation, but you want the same end result. And they do a great job there at ECU, and we got them on the schedule this year. They will be a big-time challenge for us for sure.
Coach, we're going to go to the left side of the room, 5th row, C.L. Brown, and then we'll go, I believe, back to the right.
Hi, Coach. C.L. Brown with the Louisville Courier-Journal. Commissioner Pernetti kind of alluded to it. You had opportunities out there that you could have left Tulane, and I was just wondering, and obviously being in Louisville, there's a contingent of Kentucky boosters who would love to see you come back there. How do you kind of balance, what's your philosophy between being the best you can be at Tulane and kind of keeping 10 toes down there, but also allowing yourself to entertain possible opportunities? Yeah,
it's a fantastic question. I actually had a very transparent conversation with our team similar to that question about, you know, opportunities that present in your life this past week, because I like to do it before we get into the season and then understand like where your mindset needs to be. And so I'm a believer in be where your feet are. Like, I'm not looking anywhere else other than right where I'm at. All right. I found often in life, you know, you may be in a situation and look across the fence and see somebody else's grass and thinks it looks a little greener, and you might go over there and find out the grass is fake, right? Like, it doesn't always make you happier. I love where I'm at. Like, love it. Like, I got 4 young kids in awesome schools. My wife loves New Orleans. If you can't love New Orleans, you got a problem. Like, it's one of the coolest cities in the world. And so for me, I'm firmly planted right where I'm at. I told our team a few days ago, I got into coaching. This is my 21st year coaching college football. My first year, I think I made about $15,000 total. That was like with a camp stipend and all this other stuff. And, you know, I don't know that at this point in life, more money is what brings you happiness. I think you find joy in doing the job really, really well with people you love and care about and helping them grow and develop to be their best. And so our jobs as coaches is about serving and developing our players. That's what it's about. And I love who I get to do it with. I'm very passionate. I've been very clear that, like, I don't know if I'm going to die coaching at Tulane. All right? I don't know that. But I'd be cool if that was the case. Now, I hope that'd be a long time from now, because I just got a physical this summer to make sure everything's working good. And, man, I'm firmly planted where we are. I love where we are. I'm excited about the trajectory and the positioning we're in. We have a lot of work to do. We've won 9 games at Tulane. That's not enough for me. We got a lot of work to do. All right. And so I try to pull that curtain back for our players a little bit to help them understand, man, I'm not mad at player movement. I'm okay with the portal. I'm not one of these old school, like, archaic guys. It's like bah humbug on the portal and NIL and rev share. I'm like, man, pay the players. Let them transfer. Do whatever. That's great. Coaches have movement. That's fine. Like, but I'm very, very, very content. And I can assure you, man, I would love to be at Tulane for a really long time.
I believe we have league winners on the right side, 3rd row.
Brandon Pockers of the league winners again. You know, with so much roster turnover, how important has it been to have guys like Sam and Shadre on the defense? And then on the offense, what guys have started to emerge as leaders, and what do you want to see in that category from the overall team as you head in the fall camp?
That's a great question. You know, while we may not have a big number of solidified starters from last year's team that started a bunch of games back, we have really strong guys in those roles. So you look at Shadre and Derek Graham on offense. You look at Cam Hamilton, Sam Howard, and Bailey Despaney on defense. Those 5 guys are the ones that started a bunch of games that are back. But then we have some other guys around them, a Jack Chinchu, a Bryce Bohannon at receiver. Jack plays safety, that were in the program that are primed and ready to step up and elevate. Like, I'm fired up to watch some of those guys take the next step and become starters, right? And Kevin Adams in the secondary, and Jaheim Johnson in the secondary, and I could keep going. Arnold Barnes at running back, like Anthony Miller at tight end. Like, there's a lot of guys that were within our program already. Reese Baker at offensive line that I think are ready to take the next step and be big-time players, and they're great leaders, okay? And then as we put our team together, through the portal component, when we add players to the roster, it's more than just, is this guy the right player? It's, is he the right fit? Does he understand what the standards and the expectations it looks like to be in our program day in, day out? And when we get those guys and we fully vet them and we talk to them in the recruiting process in a way that is not recruity, but it's more like just, this is what it looks like when you come here, then usually those guys fit in better. They understand, like, this program is about, man, we're blue collar, we're chip on your shoulder, we're hard edge. In recruiting meetings, I meet with recruits one-on-one, and I tell them, if you're not tough and you do not love football, do not come to Tulane. Go somewhere else, please. You'll be happier, I'll be a whole lot happier. And so we're very demanding, and so I think that recruits guys that are tough and love football, because when they hear that, they're like, if they don't like that, they're going to go somewhere else. And so, but the leadership of your team, it's always evolving. I talk a lot about who are our current leaders and who are our emerging leaders, who are the next guys up, right? And so that's a huge component to developing leadership. One of my least favorite things I ever hear people say is, like, we don't have enough leaders. Well, that's our job as coaches, is to develop guys to be leaders. And so that's an incumbent upon us to do so. And I say it every day probably. I think good teams can be coach-led, but great teams, like championship caliber teams, have to be player-led. And I'm confident in the group we got. I like our locker room. I like the makeup of our leadership group, and I look forward to watching them lead our team this year.
Coach, that's all the time we have for you. Thank you.
Thank you. Roll Wave.